Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for clicking on this video. I came to return a few books and to get a book, but they didn't have the book that I needed. Well, it's not checked out, but it's in like a professor's personal collection, so I've got to see if they have it at Fry. I need to get the book to do a book review for my Approaches to Global History class. So I need to get that book like tomorrow when I go to the university, so I'll look at that. Yeah, it's Thursday. It's been a pretty good week. It's getting cooler. I love it. It's probably 7 degrees for a high today, and I am just wearing my jean jacket. So yeah, it's funny. I got several comments on my last video about I need to get a scarf and I need to dress warmer, but I'm like, it's not cold. This isn't cold. You Germans should be used to the cold. My plan was to come over here and get a coffee at this Pure Origins coffee, but it's super packed, so not gonna do that. And it was nice earlier today, like sunny at least. And when I had planned out my day after my class ended at 2, my plan was to get out and take some like touristy photos at the Brandenburg Gate with the sun setting and maybe do a time lapse. But the sun has decided to disappear again. So I think I'm still going to go over there and try to get some night photos. It's pretty early. It's not even 3 yet. I don't know. I really think a coffee is in order. I think we need to do that first, actually. So it's a pretty typical day here in Berlin, where it starts off looking pretty nice, and then it just kind of gets cloudy and gross. I'm curious, every time I pass a place like this, I want to try it. I mean, there's a place called Vegged over by my apartment that's good, but I'm not even hungry. I mean, I'm hungry, but look. Real vegan Wi-Fi. No animals hurt in the creating of that Wi-Fi. That's awesome. As a newly converted vegan, I am not like super into all these like meat substitutes. I don't necessarily need them, but a good burger and fries is nice that there's an option. As I was saying, yeah, it turned into kind of a dreary and overcast day today. I was really looking forward to getting a good picture with the Brandenburg Gate with the sun setting. I thought it was going to be a nice picture. May have to wait till summer to do that. I do want to get a night photo of it, so that's a good like tourist type picture. I'm going to walk around here, take some photos, and mainly this is an excuse to get out of the house. I have been cooped up a lot and not getting out a whole lot, so I need to make myself do these kinds of things more often.
Life is a winding road.
All right, so I'm here at Coffee Lab. Let's see.
Driving through days and nights. Won't stop for traffic lights.
So I decided to stop. It's a little chilly out here today, I'm not gonna lie. It's 3:30. The sun usually goes down now about 4:45, 5. So I'm gonna try to hang out until then, have a coffee, and take some more photos. I'm looking forward to this coffee. I got a what did I get? I got a flat white with oat milk. So hopefully that's pretty tasty.
You can say I lost my mind. I will keep on holding my head high.
Yeah, there was
The sky's falling.
not going to be any kind of good sunset at the Brandenburg Gate, but I think I got some pretty cool portraiture photos. We'll have to see. Now I'm just gonna head back to the house now and study for the rest of the night. So I'll see you tomorrow.
Trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know, if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down.
I know a bunch of you said that you liked my cooking video making the chili last week. So I'm not doing a cooking video here, but I am making a, let's see, little falafel salad for lunch. I've got these frozen little falafels that are pretty good. I've made a little salad with some lettuce and tomatoes and onions, and I'll throw some hummus on there. So that should be good. It is Saturday, November whatever, 12th, I think. Today is going to be a pretty chill day. My plan here is to eat and then go toward the Eastside Gallery and do some recording down there. So I decided in this video too that I'm going to be answering questions, Facebook and Reddit questions. So I hope you guys enjoy that. I'm going to finish this up, eat, get ready, and then go down to the Eastside Gallery and answer your questions. All right, I am headed to Eastside Gallery. Now, I know I think I talked about the Eastside Gallery in the first video that I made when I was doing a tour of Berlin. The Eastside Gallery is part of the Berlin Wall that is still standing, that street artists have been allowed to decorate, and it's pretty cool. It's right on the Spree River, so there's a nice little park area where you can relax and chill out.
It's just us two, me and you. Oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, I just feel so lucky. Still can't believe you love me. It never ends. It's being more than friends. Yeah. You know I'm here to stay every single day. Yeah.
All right, so I need to stress that when I'm answering these questions, or I'll read these questions, I'm not making fun of anybody for asking these questions. We all have questions, you know, and there's no such thing as a dumb question, only dumb answers. So I am definitely not gatekeeping here. If you ever have a question you want to ask me, please feel free to ask me anything you want. However, what I do ask is that if you're gonna ask me a question, ask me with a little specificity. Like, show me that you've done just a little bit of research. Not like, oh, I want to move to Germany, what do I have to do? Well, I mean, I don't know how to answer that question. So yeah, just, you know, do a little bit of research before you ask a question. If you still don't understand something, I'd be more than happy to help you out if I can. All right, here's the case in point. What are the ups and downs of moving to Germany from America? By the way, I'm in Alaska, but hopefully soon moving to Hawaii. So, I mean, how do you answer this question, right? What are the ups and downs of moving to Germany from America? The answer to this question depends on a lot of things. Depends on what you're looking for. Depends on what you're used to. You know, if you're looking for an economic reason, it's the cost of living is cheaper here in Germany than it is in the United States. Cost of healthcare is cheaper than it is in the United States. It's cheaper to rent an apartment. It's a slower pace of life. It's such a vague question. I don't know how to answer. I don't know what the person is looking for. If you're somebody who needs a lot of conveniences like 24-hour grocery stores, you're going to miss your fast food, specific fast food that you don't get here, then it may not be for you. Just saying, you know, what are the, and I'll link a video up here that I did about reasons to move to Germany, and then I've got another video, reasons not to move to Germany. Maybe consider checking those videos out if you have this question yourself. I will say, if you're not a big fan of cold weather or cold and dreary weather about 4, 5, 6 months, 5 months out of the year, don't move to Germany. You're going to be miserable. All right, next question. Can I buy certain medications over the counter in Germany? Now, I went on to read the thread a little bit. This was from Reddit. They were asking more along the lines of certain, if certain prescription medicines were available over the counter that they aren't in the US. But I think there is this perception that, you know, Germany is this foreign land and they don't have the things we have in America and things like that. When, I mean, anything basically you can get in the US, you can get here. The difference is, so if you want to buy some Advil or aspirin or Tylenol or, you know, heartburn medicine, whatever, you have to, instead of going to your neighborhood Walgreens. In Germany, there's a difference between, you've got apothekas and you got drogeries, right? You got apothekas are where they sell where you get your prescriptions and your over-the-counter medicines. The drogery is like your DMs, like the grocery part of Walgreens, if you will. If you want to get your prescriptions, if you want to get like Advil or something like that, you need to go to an apotheka to get those rather than a drogery. I've found that, you know, I have a prescription, and the biggest headache for me about getting my prescription filled is, you know, if you go to a doctor in the U.S., you can usually get like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 whatever refills before you have to go back and see the doctor again. In my experience here, I haven't had that. I've had to, every time I need to refill my prescription, I have to call the doctor up and say, I need a new prescription to get filled, and they'll print me one out and I have to go pick it up. And typically they charge me for going in there and doing that. That's the main difference. But yeah, most everything is available here that you can find in the US. If you're moving here and you're on if you have specific medications you have to take, I would do your research before you come and make sure that those drugs are available. And what I did before I moved here is I went to my doctor and I asked if I could have a 6-month supply. So that gave me time to find a doctor that can write me a prescription in German, because when you get here, you'll have to get a prescription from a German doctor to get your prescription filled. Your American or wherever, your foreign prescription won't be any good. I'll answer one more question here, then I'm gonna move because it is chilly. I should have gotten the beanie hat, whoa. All right, here's a COVID question from Reddit. Can Americans who have not been vaccinated against COVID-19 enter Germany starting November 15th, 2021? My question to you is, why are you not vaccinated? Don't make me go on a political rant, because this is not what I want to do. Get your ass vaccinated. It's easy. If you can't for some medical reason, that's one thing. I don't know for a fact that you can get into the country. I do not believe you can get into the country. Cases here are rising again, and I am getting pretty worried. So we're going into 2G, which is vaccinated or recovered. You have to have proof of vaccination or proof of recovery. I don't believe tests are going to be accepted any longer. So even if you can get into the country, you need to be vaccinated to enjoy most of the places in the country. So just go ahead and get vaccinated if you're going to come over here.
I shone bright, then my journey was over. What I sought when I ran was back where I began. No matter the rain, no matter the storm, I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Leave open the gate. Don't turn off the light.
This isn't really a question, but a observation. Yeah, the German grocery store cashiers are pretty aggressive. Not aggressive, but they're fast. You have to be on your game. And sometimes I look at it as a competition. Can I be faster than the grocer, than the checkers, and get my stuff back in my cart before, and be waiting on them. I don't doubt that it can be stressful to some people, and I don't doubt this headline. I think in particularly Aldi I think they have an internal competition probably to see who can be the fastest checker, because they are super fast. Would it be fun to travel to Berlin on my own for a day? I live in Köln and haven't been to Berlin yet. Berlin is always a fun place to visit. I love living here, so I am biased. If you have a chance to come to Berlin, come to Berlin. It'd be better to spend more than one day. But yeah, there's a lot to see and do here. You won't be bored if you're worried about that. I want to say Berlin is 7 times larger than Paris and maybe 9 times larger than London by size-wise. So it's a huge city. So getting around and seeing everything you want to see in one day may not be possible. And look, I know people, shit on touristy stuff, but doing touristy stuff is fun. That's why you come to places to see things like that. I kind of feel like once you've been a couple times someplace like Paris, I've been to Paris a lot. I don't need to go to the Louvre every time I go. You know what I mean? So, but what I would highly recommend if you have a day or two, just a short amount of time, do the hop on, hop off bus. It's, 30 euros, 35 euros for 24 hours, I think, and you can get on and get off as many times as you want. So, and it'll take you to all the highlights. So I would highly recommend doing that if you're going to come for just a day or two. All right, I decided to stop and get a coffee. Hopefully I can get some service. Let's field a few more questions here. All right, here's a question that I was kind of talking about earlier. We are close to retirement in the US, and Germany is our first choice for retirement. We have looked at some other European countries which are not as interesting to us. We have both been to Germany multiple times. Some of the top things on our list are cost of living, taxes, and English spoken. From everything we've read and experienced, Germans speak English much more than the southern European countries. I know a tiny bit of German, and we would learn it, and we would learn more, but we don't want it to be a daily burden. I don't think it would be, but English is still not the first language. Spain and Portugal would be nice too, but we don't think English is spoken enough to get by very well. And on a scouting trip to France last month, English was hardly spoken at all. Thanks so much. This is a question that comes up a lot about speaking English or speaking German or speaking whatever wherever you move. Like every lawyerly answer, the answer usually is it depends. Here in Berlin, I think you can get away with not learning English fairly easily. Everywhere you go, people speak English, almost to your detriment, because it's hard to learn English when it's hard to learn German when everyone is speaking English to you. Like I'll try to speak English, I'll try to speak German, and they'll start talking to me in English. I'm like, I need to learn, I need to work on my German. But I get it. But if you go to some other areas in Germany, where there are less international people, where it's less international, maybe to like a small village or a smaller town in Bavaria or the North NRW, it may be harder to get along without knowing English. So the first part of that question is, the language barrier. My response to that question is the language. Try to learn it as much as you can. You're not going to learn it overnight, especially if you're older. I know it's harder to learn things when you're older, so you just kind of have to be patient with that. But don't move here or anywhere overseas and expect for people to adjust to you. Just because you speak English and you think everyone else does, you really need to work on your language skills. Don't rely on other people speaking your language. That's not fair. That's not fair to them, and it's not fair to you. People leave, do they ever think about you? I just got a brooch because I asked for it. I panicked when I was trying to think of a pastry. Well, I still wonder and I miss you. I know I'll ask you when I see you again, my friend. What do you do when you get the blues? Just pick up my guitar. Too much on your plate when you get too
Wie kann es sein, dass und doch hat Bruder es recht? This has never been done. So it's very encouraging.
Apparently it is protest day here in the Brandenburg Gate area. I always think it's pretty cool, actually, to see all this going on. Let's see, what other questions do we have here? Hello, I'm going through the process of a tentative offer from a military base in Germany. I was wondering if anyone has ever dealt with what they do with their car. I have a car loan currently. I don't even know if I'm able to take it with me due to that. Just trying to get some advice on what I should do with my car. Thank you in advance. I'm moving with my son to the Stuttgart area. When I moved here in the military, I had a car. It had a car payment, and our finance company would not let us take the car with the car payment. We had to pay the note off. I mean, that was a long time ago, and your mileage may be different. Unless someone is paying for your shipping expenses, do not bring a car. Even then, it's kind of a pain in the ass because they ship it and you're going to be without it for a while, and you got to go get it, and you got to make sure it passes all the German inspections and everything. Usually it's just easier to buy a car when you get here. So I would suggest when you get here just to get a car. Don't bring your car. This is a great question, or a great thing to discuss. Did anyone have to deal with backlash from family when they decided to make the big move? We just officially told my family, and my sister isn't taking it well. She even went as far as to make some comments about my husband. He's from Germany. I love my sister, and I'm trying to keep the peace while standing my ground. I know this is outside of the usual practical questions asked here, but anyone who went through this would love to hear how you handled it. My response to this is, it's your life. If they love you, they'll support you. If they love you, they'll support you. They're being selfish by making you feel bad about your decision or not supporting you. That's on them. That's not on you. It's not even, to me, it's not even about standing your ground. It's your life, and if it's your decision. And if they can't back you on it, then I have to question how much they actually care. You know what I mean? It's your life. So you guys have a lot of great questions, and I always appreciate questions. I'm always happy to answer any questions that you guys have. So if you ever have any questions for me, do not hesitate to ask me. Do not hesitate to send me a message on Instagram or Facebook, or as a comment in one of my videos. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please go ahead and hit the like button. Consider supporting my channel by becoming a member or join my Patreon page. So guys, until next time, I'll see you later.